What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the same. And right now, I'm feeling like 100 grand.
You are listening to Inspired Insider with your host, Dr. Jeremy Weisz.
Hey, everybody. This is John Corcoran with Dr. Jeremy Weisz, and this episode is a little bit different. This is a live interview that we recorded at the Global Leadership Conference from Entrepreneurs Organization, where some of the best entrepreneurs from around the globe gathered in Washington, D.C. to share ideas and to learn about entrepreneurship. And of course, this episode is brought to you by Rise 25, where we help B2B businesses to give to and to connect to their Dream 100 relationships and partnerships, helping you to run a podcast so that it generates a referral pipeline and ROI.
Yeah, I mean, John, after both of us have been podcasting for over a decade, the number one thing in our life is relationships. And we're always looking at ways to give to our best relationships. And we found no better way to do that over the past decade than to profile the people and companies we admire and shout from the rooftops what they're working on. And this interview is no different. So if you've thought about podcasting, you should go to rise25.com to learn more, or email us at support@rise25.com.
Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the interview.
Enjoy. Jeremy Weisz here. We're live from EO Global Leadership Summit and brought to you by Rise 25. I'm here with David Anderson. And David, tell people more about your company and what you do.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. So my name is David Anderson. I am with EO Arizona, but my company is off Madison Ave, and we are a full-service marketing agency located in Arizona, but do work all over the place.
Tell me about the name, Off Madison Ave.
So we're about to hit 25 years, and when my business partner and I and our wife sat down to come up with a name, we're in Arizona, Madison Ave's in New York, and somebody said Off Broadway. There's a lot of debate on who came up with the name between the four of us, so we'll just leave it open now. But then somebody said, how about Off Madison Ave? We have the quality of people and the work. We're just way off Madison Ave.
So what kind of services do you offer?
The full scope of marketing services, so from digital services to traditional strategy, branding, TV, radio, print, digital, websites, the full scope of services.
What type of clients do you serve? And I love to dig into a few of them too.
Yeah, no problem. So, historically, we've been a big generalist where we've done a lot of different industries. Over the last few years, we've really focused in on what we call like destination, recreation, and food and beverage. So we represent from, the state of Arizona to Pete's Coffee to WD-40 fits outside of that, but still an important client of us. So it's a pretty large group of clients.
Yeah, I had the CEO on my podcast of WD-40. They're an amazing organization. So I'm going to take each of those a little bit. Let's talk about the Arizona Game and Fish.
So Arizona Game and Fish, they are a self-funded government agency. They get a little bit of money here and there, but a lot of their revenue comes from licensing and all types of different things. Well, when we started working with them, they had historically not done any outside fundraising for people to do primarily digital fundraising. And so when we started with them, I think it was 3 years ago, I think they did like $13,000, $14,000. This year, we're pretty close to crossing the $1 million mark in revenues, in donations, I should say, that are coming in. And then that goes directly out to help with, all kinds of different programs that they have.
So David, what kind of things do you do to help companies like that?
Well, a lot of it is helping build a brand identity, building awareness, helping them put the foundational stuff in place from the technology side of what they're doing, the strategy, how is it supported with public relations or media, paid media, so both unpaid and paid media there. And it's all to build awareness and drive action. Marketing is, people say all the time, we want you to build our brand. Well, brands are built with the interactions that you have with a company, not by what I say. Our job is to build awareness and induce trial, and through that inducing trial, get them to take action.
So what are they able to do now that, it's a huge, tremendous leap from having $10,000 to $1 million, what are they able to do now because you've helped them grow so much?
Well, they just have more resources to put towards specific programs or include new programs. Like one of them was Arizona. It's hot as hell there, and there are times where there's drought issues and water issues where they've been able to put systems of bringing water to specific areas to support wildlife during the height of summers in the July, August, Septembers that they have. So, which again provides for a better environment for our citizens or those that come to have more wildlife and see more of the outdoors through these programs.
So I love to talk about a CPG company. I don't know if it's the coffee company you're talking about and some of the stuff you do for CPG companies.
Yeah. So Pete's Coffee, Foster Farms are two big ones that we do. WD-40 are those. And a lot of that is, we do a lot of public relations, crisis communications, some marketing for some of those that we have there. And there's never a shortage of issues to deal with in CPG, especially when it comes to food and beverage.
So, when they come to you, there's a lot of strategy, right? And so what is a big mistake people make with their brand when they come to you and you are giving them certain advice on what they're doing currently?
Well, I would say the biggest thing is just having consistency of your brand message. What is your message? And that's obviously very, very important as you communicate externally. But it's amazing how many companies we come into that internally there's not clarity around what the brand is, what's their USPs, unique selling points, what is the value that they bring. And so you can't really start talking about it externally until you all are aligned internally. So a lot of that work, and we see that at all levels. It's not like, the coordinators or others don't understand. I've seen many times where the executive team isn't completely aligned on what the brand message is, what the brand is about, what it stands for, and what your unique selling points are.
I can see when you're talking about how it becomes like a rocket ship situation when you get everyone aligned talking about what makes them different, everyone's aligned and they could just, launch.
Yeah, absolutely. You'd be amazed at how many times we go into the first strategy and we ask a couple questions and we don't talk for 2, 3, 4 hours while the executive team is all debating or the people included in it getting it to there. And the power of any organization, as we've heard from some of our speakers here, is, you need alignment. You need your messaging aligned. You gotta, what's your cause for good that you're looking for, that you're getting people to buy into? So yeah, I would always say that's the number one, most important thing. Have internal buy-in on what you're doing, what you're selling, what your goals are, before you kind of start talking about it externally.
David, where can people find out and learn more online? Where should they check out on your website?
Go to offmadisonave.com, or you can find me on LinkedIn. Pretty easy to find, David Anderson. There's probably a million David Andersons, but just do David Anderson in Arizona, and my name will come up on there someplace.
Offmadisonave.com. Thanks, everyone from GLC.
What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. And right now, I'm feeling like $100 grand.